Yo, what's up guys, it's Talon, and today we're going to be talking over how we went on a 9-game win streak in high challenger solo queue. So we're going to show you guys the match history here. You can see a bunch of carrying here, just a bunch of MVPs, and we won 11 out of the last 12 and 9 in a row. So we're just going to be talking over one of the games, talking about how we were able to carry so many games. Going to go over a Xayah game. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. Okay, so going into this game, so again, we had a lot of Xayah games as well as some quirky carries overall. I mean, the ADC role as a whole is a role I've definitely done really well on this season. I think we have like a 72% win rate at 87 marks right now, something along those lines. So we're pretty close to Sovereign on this account as well now. We have a Vel'Koz, not really my favorite support to play with. I don't think Vel'Koz is good. I think he's probably one of the worst champions in the game, frankly. But, you know, we can always obviously win. And in this matchup, we generally have the early advantage in terms of push and prio, so we're going to take advantage of that. As you can see, I pretty much got on the wave as soon as the wave came, and I'm immediately focused on getting the wave pushed. You can see this is really the initial thing that a lot of people don't do on ADC, is focus super hard on pushing the wave. So here, all I'm really concerned with, get the wave pushed, and now that I've pushed the first wave, I can go and ward if I want. Now, there's some weird stuff that goes on level 1 with the Kindred invade, and so we end up being, you know, a bit more concerned with like, oh, can we don't really need to ward. So like as you saw there, like I went to ward his Krugs, but then I didn't need to ward the Krugs because I saw that he invaded, so I knew where he started. Kind of a weird situation, but you know, sometimes weird stuff happens, and then their Kindred decides to now go back to his red side, so we know, okay, we're probably actually not going to get ganked for a while because he's going to do my teammate's blue side into his red side into probably his blue side, so we know we're probably safe for a while. So again, the main things that we keep track of early on is just keep track of jungle and make sure we focus on getting the wave pushed. If we have those two things on lock, probably going to have a decent early game as an ADC. That's the general kind of, you know, just thing we're keeping track of overall. Now, unfortunately, I get a little bit screwed there by my support trying to kill the wave. But you're going to see here then we were able to get a bunch of feathers and flash onto Maokai. With the E plus flash, that's a really good way to get a bunch of damage onto someone if you know you can catch them out and kill them. And that's what we do. Again, unfortunately, Vel'Koz pushed the wave, so I kind of had to walk up if I wanted to get that level advantage. I didn't want him pushing it like that, because then Maokai can engage on me. But luckily, again, because of the early lane advantage that we gotten through some poke and playing around our prio, we had enough of a health lead that it was okay, and we were able to get that all in that kill. So very often early game, we're able to find some type of angle like that, and then kind of, you know, again, just go from there. Not every early game goes well, but largely speaking, if you're able to maintain prio, you're going to have success in most lanes. And as I'm saying prio a lot, I'm realizing not everyone will know what prio means. Basically, prio, or lane priority, means that you have the lane pushing into the enemy. And because it's because you have the lane pushing into them, you're going to have a higher health, or higher, not health, sorry. You're going to have higher level because you're going to have more minions killed, and you're going to have more minions to deal damage to them if they do engage on you. So that's why it's generally an important thing to have. So again, here you can see I have a bunch of minions, they don't have any, so Maokai engages, Maokai's down a level as you see, and then also minions are dealing damage to Jhin. The Jhin is also down a level, and so Vel'Koz, he's down a level to Vel'Koz, and so Vel'Koz is able to get that kill there. So largely again, just the lane prio is leading to us getting these kills because they engage on us down a level, so, and into minions, and that's pretty much what wins us that lane at that point. So it's definitely the main thing. And this is against challenger players. I mean, if you watch like non-challengers, and I think challengers are quite bad right now. I've made a video on this in the past, but like if you're playing against like Grandmaster, Master, even lower than that, like they're going to be even less aware of this prio. They're going to trade on you with bad levels. They're going to do all these things. And then again, jungle is the only other thing you kind of got to take into account, because obviously, even if you have prio and you're pushing and you're trading hard, but then they have jungle there, it's going to be harder. I have videos on jungle tracking as well. The most important skill in jungle. That's one of the titles of the video I made recently that talks a lot about jungle tracking. So these types of things are important to keep in mind still. But overall, that's kind of the gist of it. And then here we try to end up trading. Maokai goes in on us again. And that time you can see like Maokai's engage doesn't go as poorly. Now Kindred does go super deep, so it's not great. But Kindred or Maokai's engage doesn't go as poorly. It goes poorly now, but it initially didn't go as poorly because of the fact that their jungle was there. And so being more aware of jungle when it comes to playing those engage supports is also important. Now, luckily for me, because I'm strong enough, I'm able to get a nice little triple there. And that's the really good thing about Xayah. She's very reactive. Like if the enemy, they go in on you, they make engages, you have really good ways to turn around. You have good self-preservation with your third ability and your ultimate. and you have a bunch of damage, so it's really hard for the enemy to go into you. And then there I went a bit too aggressive. I was thinking Xayah's going to E, or Syndra's going to E me, and so I was trying to block her E with my ult. Probably didn't need to do that though, honestly, a little overextension for me. And then I didn't expect their Kindred to be there again, so like since Kindred showed up earlier, I was thinking, oh, I'm safe to push a wave. Got a little bit too far there and ended up dying. Frankly speaking, most of the time I'm pretty fine with pushing a wave like that, just because it means that, okay, then I get to recall without the enemy getting plates or getting anything out of it. But their jungle shows up again, which is just not something I would expect given the fact that their jungle was already there for a while. But sometimes jungles make weird choices. And, you know, it is what it is. Ultimately, I'm still relatively strong. I'm not too beat up over that, you know, play, but that was the reasoning there. Sometimes you're incorrect about jungle tracking, and things like that will happen, unfortunately. It is what it is. We're still in a strong spot, though. And again, as long as we have the lane pushing before the objective spawns, we're going to be pretty happy, because then that means either the enemy contests the objective and we can get a free turret, or they're stuck under their turret clearing the wave as we get first move on the objective. So kind of either way, we're pretty happy there. And then here again, I'm pretty fine with auto trading with Jhin just because we are stronger, but unfortunately it's not the best trade overall for us. Here we get to watch our Yasuo do some unique stuff as he dies, and definitely feeling pretty bad about the initial early game, like into the rest of the enemy. But there is a nice thing that we're able to almost kill the Jhin. Sadly, I somehow don't kill the Jhin. But I do want to talk about the mechanical thing that we do here. And this is just... So the typical combo with Xayah, if you're trying to root someone really fast, is you use your first ability, you auto attack, and then you third ability, and that gets you 3 feathers out, which is enough to root someone. But sometimes they're out of range, and you have to do it on minions. So watch here how I auto attack the minion, and then I root after. So, okay, here I actually did not. I actually rooted him, so I lied. I am a liar. I auto attacked him. I thought I auto attacked the minion. Either way, you can do it on the minion as well, if the minion is close enough, where you auto attack the minion instead of him, and then you root after, if they're close enough. But here we actually just rooted him, because I didn't realize he was close enough to auto attack. But either way, first ability, auto attack, third ability, you root them, and we're nearly able to kill him there. Unfortunately, we don't quite kill him, but we're close. And then here I'm trying to outplay, see if I can get anything done. But unfortunately, they don't quite die. So a little tragic there. But, you know, it is what it is. At this point, we just, again, we'll go on the wave here. Make sure we have prio. So once again, like dragon spawns, we want to make sure we're getting the wave push. That's ultimately the most important. Because then again, even if the enemy contests the dragon, they lose out on the wave. We're totally happy with that. Now here, they got the dragon really quickly, so they're not going to lose a lot. But generally speaking, that's what you're looking for. As long as you control the wave, that's really what's going to matter. I was coaching an ADC recently, like literally right before I made this video, and his problem, and the problem of a lot of people that I coach is in ADC especially, is just they don't push the wave before they do anything. Like they'll go and contest a dragon before pushing the wave, or they'll go and, you know, do these other things. And my Vel'Koz takes my wave here, very tragic of him. But luckily we were able to catch Jhin. Again, same combo as before, first ability, auto attack, third ability. But a lot of times, yeah, people don't push the waves before they do anything, and then they go and they fight, and now he ults my wave too. I don't know, this Vel'Koz was really mean, but either way, they'll just go and fight first, and then if they fight, okay, you win the fight, great. You lose the fight, bad. But like, there's nothing else. It's just either you have the positive outcome or a negative outcome, pretty 50-50. But if you end up pushing the wave first, it means that the negative outcome is less negative and the positive outcome is more positive. Because if the negative outcome of dying occurs, well, you've already gotten the wave pushed, which means the enemy can't push the wave and then take a turret out of it. They just get the kill on you. If the positive outcome occurs, you already have a wave under their turret, so the enemy are going to lose their wave under, like the wave that you have under their turret is going to die to the turret. And then you also have the wave pushing to get turret plates or a turret or more gold. So doing these types of things is really important. And then as well, map awareness as an ADC when you're winning lane is super important. So if we look in this scenario, why do I go to mid lane here instead of top lane? This is fundamentally one of the most important ways to snowball in an ADC. And this again is in a game where I'm losing. Like my team is losing, I'm strong, but my team is losing. And if your team is losing, but you're strong, or just if you're strong, you can do this. Basically, I took the turret, I pushed this wave as you see, and then I go somewhere else. The reason I can go somewhere else is because there's going to be a time where this wave is getting pushed and someone has to deal with it. There's basically more time for me to go somewhere else. And so then I use that time to go somewhere else. Where do I go? I go mid. Other times you can go bot and take a bot turret. You know, you can go wherever. You just go somewhere else to another lane, get gold there, and then boom, I get one mid wave, I get another mid wave, and I get an entire mid turret. Unfortunately, no one's here, and so I do end up dying to Aatrox, but I am totally fine in a game like this, where the game is going negatively, dying, where I also blow an ult and a flash from the enemy. I do lose my ult and flash. I know it's not the perfect outcome, but I get more gold on myself, and that's really what I care about for carrying as an ADC, especially in a game where my team is quite bad. Again, if I have a reasonable support who's covering, I'm even not going to die there, and it's going to be way more positive. But regardless, getting the turret plus 2 waves is 100,000,000%. You know, that's a real statistical truth. 100 million is the exact percentage. It's 100,000,000% more valuable than my life, which is just worth 300 gold. And then you can see by the time that I come back to want to go topside, there's a wave coming perfectly into me. And that's obviously in a situation where then my Yasuo goes and gets it, but in many situations, you're the one who gets to go get that top wave. So you can see, I push out the top wave, I had plenty of time to get 2 mid waves plus a mid turret, and then I could have gone back to top wave and gotten pretty much all the gold there. Even if I lost the top turret, again, I get the mid turret, which gets more gold on me, which allows me to snowball more. And again, it's all about me when we're playing ADC. Like, we care about our self-carrying. We don't care about our teammates, you know, getting all the gold or our opponents getting some gold. If we're in a position to carry like I am in this game where all my team is pretty shit, I'm going to get as much gold on myself as possible, even if it means giving some gold to the enemy. And again, you can see through this, I'm at least fed, which means there's someone who can carry, right? Whereas if I didn't have gold on myself, but then I guess the enemy Jhin got a little less gold, well, great, enemy Jhin has a little less gold, but his team is 1v9ing, you know, shitting on my teammates like I can't do anything, it doesn't matter, right? So that's why it's important. And then even here, top wave is covered, so I don't go top, I go to wherever there's more gold, and where's there more gold, there's bot. So as you saw here, I want to again go through the sequences of just how I'm getting as much gold as possible. So initially, I look to where I can see, you know, where can I get gold. Here, it looks like there might be a bot fight, so instead of going mid, I'm like, maybe there's a chance I can get some bot gold. So we do end up going bot. But at the end of the day, nothing really, you know, happens. So now we just wait here. We get a bot wave. Okay, I get one bot wave. Great. Now I go and I catch another bot wave, right? And then even here, we could have gotten bot turret as well, potentially. But Aatrox is dead, or is there. And so instead I decide, okay, now I'm going to go get the camp on here. And then, okay, now I've gotten the camp. I've gotten 2 bot waves. This is where now a fight breaks out. And why is it that I think I can take this fight? Well, it's pretty simple. 1, I farmed, so I'm pretty strong already. I have a lot of gold spent. 2, dragon spawning somewhat soon. Oftentimes dragon is when a time, or because dragon is spawning soon, people are going to potentially be there. So the enemy jungler might be there, or someone's going to be late. And then we have a lot of numbers here, and the enemy are kind of overextended. So it's just a pretty simple fight for us to take. We're able to get the shutdown there. And again, I'm not in too much danger because I had my ultimate, so I could probably escape if I needed. And at this point now, we have the numbers advantage. We have our ultimate to make sure that Maokai can't really engage on us too well. And we're able to kind of carry the fight from here, as you can see. So again, all I've really done in this game, we did those simple lane phase fundamentals of focusing on getting mid lane pushed, or not mid lane, focusing on getting the lane pushed, getting prio, using that prio then to just play around level advantages and win lane around there. Then in the mid game, we just find gold wherever we can. After we push out our top lane, once we got the, you know, the top lane turret, we end up going to recall, push another wave, get the gold from that wave, and then from there, again, we just kind of cycle between different waves, getting as much gold as possible. Even here, you see I'm more concerned with the mid wave rather than the fight. I go mid wave, and then I go fight. I don't go fight and then mid wave. That way, I get guaranteed gold on myself, and then I'm still in a position to carry the fight afterwards, and nothing really, like, changes. Like, I could have been here 2 seconds earlier. I don't care. Either way, you're going to see I'm going to pop off in this fight at the end of the day, because I'm farmed. Being there slightly later is not as important as, you know, not getting gold. So like, it's a lot more important to get the gold and then be there afterwards anyway, because this was just a random dragon. This dragon wouldn't have changed the game or anything. But again, getting that additional gold on myself, hitting my items quicker, that can change the game. And again, it adds up. It's not like I'm just this one time making that play to get 200 more gold on that wave. I'm making these plays over and over and over again, which adds up to thousands of gold over time. Here, we take as much as we can out of that fight. So even though the enemy got Baron because their kindred soloed Baron, I get the top lane turret, then I get the mid lane turret, then we end up getting almost a kill on Aatrox, and then we can just go and cycle and get the bot lane wave right after, as you're going to see. So we're just able to get like an insane amount of gold out of all of these situations where we get the top turret, we get the mid turret, and then we eventually can cycle down, and we don't get the bot turret, but we could have probably. And then we get the waves, and by the time that the Baron is, you know, their Baron is ready for them to push, like it's almost expired. So like it doesn't even matter that they got Baron, right? We just get 1,000,000 gold in their self, and we're in a position where we can just completely carry the game. So just this constant farming and then just playing these fights out in a pretty reasonable, straightforward manner is all that's leading to me, you know, carrying this game pretty hard. And then because I'm so fed, you're going to see even when I do get caught out or make a mistake, Kindred gets one shot by me because of how fed I am. So that's obviously nice as well. But yeah, ultimately, like, this is ADC. Like, this is not a complicated role at all. You can see I'm doing a lot of straightforward things, and just doing those simple things, not over forcing random fights, is important. Understanding what it is that actually leads to me winning the game. So again, here, I push out the bot wave, I'm focused on the bottom lane turret, and so we get the bottom lane turret, as you see there, and then we recall, we make sure we spend our gold, rather than staying up for no reason. And I'm 16k gold in 14 minutes, I guess. 16k gold in 14 minutes. Like, that is absurdly fast, obviously. And of course, I'm showing you guys a good game, but you saw my match history. I've been having pretty much only good games, like a bunch of MVPs, a bunch of carries on this role. So, of course, a very, very strong role right now as well. These champions, Xayah and Corki, definitely very strong champions. And then at this point, again, I show up a little late because I've been farming, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm super fed. We're able to get the E-Flash onto the Jhin, and it roots the Syndra. We kill the Syndra, and we get the Maokai. Little triple kill, which demoralizes the enemy enough that they decide to FF. So, again, you can just see all these simple things leading to pretty simple carries. And that's really what I wanted to show you guys, is how we're going on a 9-game win streak, how we're winning a bunch, how I'm 87 marks now currently, 13 marks away from Sovereign on ADC, hoping to get that somewhat soon. Better than 100% of Xayah. This is one of the earlier games of the stream, so I'm at 80 marks here, but we end up at 87 at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in getting coached by me, learn more things like this, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through a link in the description to my Discord server. It's $25 an hour for coaching. I know I just said that really fast, and that probably made no sense. Doesn't really matter. Goodbye. See you later.